Aloha, John here with 18 Inches Down. I am here to protest the Oluwalu dump site as well as many, many others. I have been in the islands for 20 plus years. I'm currently in Oregon because of the fires, but headed back to work with the Red Cross here in January. And I will say this, if we cannot do the right thing, then it's time for the leaders to step aside and allow the land, allow the Aina, allow the people of Hawaii to speak and to take care of their own land. Who are we outside of Hawaii to say anything when it pertains to pollution, when it pertains to leadership that has just gone completely anti-aloha? I would say that if you can't, wake up, awaken, and step aside. If you can't do the right thing. It's the very, very thing that Hawaii needs is for people that are not for Hawaii to step aside. Thank you.
Lee Poston here, 20 plus year business owner, therapeutic associate in Maui. We lost our clinic, 27 years on Maui. I can't even believe this is a question that you're thinking about dumping toxic material this close to water aquifers and to the ocean. I mean, do your research. This has happened in the past where toxic material has leaked into the waters causing cancer. You shouldn't even be close to anything that's going to have anything to do with our people. Water supply, food supply. Toxic material is toxic material. Who's making these decisions? Because you're obviously not representing us, the people, because we have obviously spoken. We don't want this. Thank you.
E ko mako makoi loko kalani, e hoano ia ko inoa, e hiki mai ko aupuni, e mālame ia ko make maka honua ne, e like me ia I mālame ia makalani la. It is my prayer that the debris from the Lahaina fire be put in a place that is in accordance with the will of Keakua, and that it would be in a better place than Oluwalu, one that is more safe, secure, and stable for the environment, not only for this generation, but for the generations to come. If we do not take the time to do it right now, how will we find the time to do it over?
I am here today as a concerned citizen who cares very deeply about what happens to our natural world, to implore you not to dump the toxic waste in Oluwalu. To do so would have disastrous consequences on the living reef there and the manta rays and all the other sea creatures who feed off of the reef. Maui is one of the few places on Earth that has such a precious resource, and to do this short-sighted deed that will destroy the reef is unthinkable. Please look into your heart and find the truth. You know the right thing to do is to not dump the toxic waste in Oluwalu. You need to find somewhere else to put it. Thank you.
Hello. We are asking that you please preserve this coral reef area in Maui. Please do not pour any of this toxic waste in this pure, beautiful area. It would cause such destruction and affect so many people, even you. We are wise and intelligent people. We can find another way. Please consider these petitions. Thank you.
The chance that the Maui County Council is taking on ruining the environment, the long-term negative impacts, going against what the locals feel is best for their land, is not only disgusting, but it's sinister. Whatever is going on there, whatever you have been promised, I hope it is worth the long-term consequences, and the votes will reflect. God bless America.
This is a message to all Maui officials from an outraged American citizen on the mainland. I demand that you cease and desist on this ill-advised, non-scientifically studied, damaging ash dump activity that you're doing near Lahaina. It amounts to mass murder of land, sea, culture, the Hawaiian people. It's a genocidal crime in the making that you officials are guilty of. Now, I can go on castigating all of you, but you secretly know your complicity in all of this destruction. So I'll end with urging all the people of Hawaii and the other locals to stand up and stop this travesty to your very lifeblood, to your water, your land, your ancestry, your very selves as human beings. And I urge all of the good people of the world to support you.
My name is Jessica Malloy. I live on the U.S. mainland. The proposed toxic dump site for Maui fire debris puts more at risk than the local species and ecosystems. The underground freshwater streams are at risk of contamination, along with the watershed that flows into the precious Oahu reef system, which has been declared critical to the health of our global oceans. The web of life in Oahu and around the planet would be endangered. No mayor, no governor should be allowed to use emergency proclamations to suspend environmental protections with global ramifications. The greater good must be considered. This must be set right. It's not too late to implement viable, holistic, and sound solutions that are right and good for the land, the people, the planet, the waters, and the many life forms therein. We demand it. Nature and the people demand this be made right.
Aloha. I'm a resident of the state of Hawaii. My name is Megan, and I do not consent, as so many others have already spoken, considering the environmental impact, spiritual impact, social and economic impact, the health impact that dumping toxic materials from Lahaina in Olowalu will have on our environment, our bodies, every part of our ecosystem. I do not consent to that happening. And do not get it wrong. You work for us. We do not consent. Aloha.
My name is Rachel Wenshoff, and our family has had the blessing of visiting West Maui 3 times. Each time we got to see lovely Lahaina and stand under the banyan tree. I beg you not to allow the dump site at Olowalu. Please, I am old enough to remember the toxic disaster of Love Canal in the 1970s and the 21 years that it took to clean up the horrors. And these horrors keep showing up in Flint, Michigan, Point Pleasant, West Virginia, Franklin, Indiana. Children and adults have suffered and died because of this toxic waste problem. This ash and debris needs to be removed completely and taken to a place like Johnston Atoll. Please, for all your sakes, do not allow this dump. Thank you.
The Maui County Council has their finger on the pulse of Maui and are standing by in support of its slow death. Not only are the Hawaiian people being affected by the poor decision-making and lackadaisy attitudes of Mayor Bisson, Governor Green, and even Joe Biden and Kamala Harris, but too is the cost to the extensive coral reefs in Olowalu that are habitat to many species of coral fish and invertebrates. Manta-rays, reef sharks, turtles, and humpback whales can all be seen on these reefs. Those who hold the key to stopping the madness of allowing 400,000 yards of toxic fire debris to be dumped on top of absorptive cinder cones at the peak of historical hills that feed directly into the Pacific Ocean and onto these reefs are doing nothing to stop it. Instead, they are all choosing to turn their heads and look the other way, hiding behind the holidays, lying to the public and not showing up when they claim to stand up for their community, citizens, and precious historical and sacred Hawaiian lands. Stop the destruction that you started illegally digging before the site was even approved. Stop ignoring the history of this precious land and stop allowing the Army Corps of Engineers total destruction. This may be the last chance to speak up about this. They are walking all over everyone and everything that matters and ready to close the book on this. Don't let them get away with it. Sign the petition. Show up January 2nd and tell everyone you know to do the same. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Monica, and I'm making this video for Eric West and for the City Council to hear that I am against dumping all of this toxic waste in the site that you are planning to do it. One, it's way too close to the ocean. It could get into the aquifers. I was married in Hawaii. I lived there for 8 years on Oahu. I've gone to Maui many times, and I'm just heartbroken to see what's happened to Lahaina. Please I vote no. There are other ways, more organic ways that you can clean up that waste. I have friends, family friends that removed the waste from the World Trade Center, and he died of multiple horrible cancers. Please vote no. Thank you.
Good morning. My name's Debbie Wilson. I live in Boring, Oregon. I come to Maui on a regular basis, maybe only 2 times a year, but I can't bear the thought of the remains of the Lahaina fires being put in the site that they've claimed is safe, Oluwalu, and I feel like it's really a bad choice. There's other options. I love what the gal said about binding it to this concrete-like thing and then letting it be part of the future building of Lahaina and the people there. So please reconsider your plan. It's not safe. It's not safe for the reef. It's not safe for the ocean. It's not safe for the people. And I really care. So please listen.
Please hear our voices and our concerns regarding the disposal site of the hazardous waste material due to the Lahaina fire. It would be such a tragedy to create more devastation by releasing this hazardous waste material into the environment that would create even more toxic problems. Please listen to us and do the right thing. Thank you.
If you do this, Mayor, Maui Council, this will be a horrendous decision that will impact the future generations. Please, I implore you not to make this horrible decision. Please vote against this. This will impact the future generations. I don't want to see anyone else get cancer as a result. Please, I am sending you prayers. I am sending you my love. Mayor, please, do the right thing. Do the right thing. Vote against this. Aloha.
Aloha, Eric. My name is Gail. I'm speaking to you from my home in North Texas. I, too, am concerned about this disposal of the toxic ash from the Maui wildfires, because if these chemicals should find their way into the ocean, they could also get into the food chain. This could wreak havoc not only for people in Maui, but it could affect other people in other parts of the world as well. Thank you for your time. Keep up the good work, and mahalo from Texas.
Hello, my name is Deanna, and I wish to voice my concerns for the proposed dump site. I believe that there needs to be more done by the Army Corps of Engineers as far as testing, and environmental studies need to be done before putting a very flimsy layer of felt and a barrier that can degrade pretty quickly above an aquifer surrounded by running streams that lead to the ocean only 1,000 feet away from a thriving coral head. I do believe that the ecosystem is very fragile and there needs to be a lot taken into consideration, and that the rushing of this and the undercover out of the media and censored way that it is going about is fishy. And I hope that you do your due diligence in protecting this beautiful land.
As a former resident of Maui, my family, I lived there for years. I'm so sad, just devastated to hear of this unconscionable idea, this plan that apparently is happening. It's gut-wrenching to poison Oluwalu. Are you kidding me? How could anybody in their right mind think that that's smart? It's so sad. I hate this.
This message is for the Maui County government officials. I, like most individuals, am opposed to the dump site at Oluwalu. It is your job to be a voice for the people, a voice for your constituents, and at this point you are ignoring the outcries and the pushback for this dump site. Just a few short years ago, we were all asked to follow the science during a pandemic. And at this point in time, you are ignoring science regarding this dump site and the toxins that will be placed at Olowalu. I ask you to please read studies regarding this issue and do the right thing, Maui County government. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Jen from Portland, Oregon, and I just want the Maui County officials to know that the world is watching you and you will be held accountable for your actions. We, the people, are seeking justice as well as God knows what you do. So there will be judgment. And it's very peculiar how politicians will give a lot of talk about being mindful of the environment and our impact upon it, and then turn around and try to do something like deposit toxic ash in a key environmental area. So think very wisely about your actions, because you will be held accountable. But we send love to you and we wish you the best as you get out of office.
As a citizen of the mainland, I am here to demand the toxic ash dump at Oahu cease immediately. As the scientists have testified, this poses dire environmental impacts. I urge you to stand firm in carrying out what the people of Lahaina and Maui elected you to do, and oppose this site as the forever home of material that will destroy your ancestral home. You must stop this toxic dump and explore alternative options. I stand with the people of Maui, Hawaii, and urge the world to join in stopping this travesty.
Aloha. I'm speaking to you from Montana. I'm very opposed to the proposal of dumping the toxic waste from the fire in a site that holds considerable concerns for irreparable damage to Maui. You must consider the land, the wind, and the ocean. This dump site will threaten yet another aquifer of Maui. This dump site will threaten sea life and eliminate coral reefs because of the rains and the wind that will cause it to leak into the ocean. There are countries worldwide who will accept toxic waste in special sites that are sealed. We can well afford to ship this waste away. For the people of Maui, for the land of Maui, and for the world of tourists who love your island, you must be loyal to your heritage and save this ecosystem. Be a conservationist. Save the island of Maui once and for all.
Hi. Please listen to the local community and do not put the toxic waste on Olowalu. It's a sacred place, and that could affect the islands for many years to come. If you love and respect the community, the land, and the waters of Maui, you will not let this happen.
My name is Grace Ellen Provost, and my message is love is the key. I spoke to Yeshua, and he told me that's the message he came when he came to earth, that love is the key. So aloha is the key. It's all about the law of one, all being at one in love and aloha, the law of frequency, the law of attraction, and the law of choices. If you choose negative anger and frustration, you're going to attract that to you. We want love, we want healing, we want Lahaina to be healed, we want Olowalu to be protected and loved, and we want, so love is the key. Be united in choice. Do not be angry. Forgive one another. Aloha. Be kind. Help one another, be like a battery or a whole set of batteries, and love one another, make us strong. We want sovereignty for the individual, sovereignty for Hawaii, and we want sovereignty for the world, and freedom and joy. For 2024, make it a year of love, enlightenment, healing, and abundance. And that's
This is about Olowalu, where the government wants to dump the toxic waste of the Lahaina fire. I'm CJ or Christine. I come from Germany. I now live in Waikiki and I care for the land. So I want to ask all these government workers, how dare you? How dare you dump the toxic waste in a sacred place, desecrate the land, destroy our environment, and it will have a long-term impact. So think in 7 generations. And you know, there's a quote from 1984. Big Brother is watching you. I tell you, we are watching you now. And we're many. Remember, you are our employees. We pay you.
Aloha, my name is Bob Driscoll, and my wife Denise and I have been property owners on the west side of Maui for the past 14 years. We are making this video to voice our opposition to the Olowalu Temporary Site Plan. The Olowalu Temporary Site Plan is another disaster waiting to happen that'll have impact on the people of Maui and the environment for decades to come. All Maui County Council members took an oath of office to serve in the best interest of Maui citizens. They have failed to do so. We urge Mayor Bisson to veto the recommendation of the Maui County Council. Mr. Mayor, when you were inaugurated a year ago today, you stated that you were grateful for your Hawaiian upbringing and that the collective community was greater than the individual. You also stated ancient knowledge and practice have always been there, but we have not been listening. And then we can learn so much from our Kapona and those people with local knowledge. Well, Mr. Mayor, the Kapona and collective community are speaking to you now, and they do not want this plan. Mr. Mayor, what do you want your legacy to be? This is a time for you to lead. You have an obligation to all Hawaiians and to your ancestors to mitigate the long-term consequences of this disaster. Mr. Mayor, be courageous, be bold, and save Maui for future generations by vetoing the recommendation of the Maui County Council. Mahalo for listening.
Aloha, my name's Lorraine and I'm calling to show my support for the people of Maui and to join in the voices of those that are telling their so-called leaders no to dumping the toxic waste from the Lahaina fire into the sacred land of Olowalu. This is adding insult to the injury that you've already caused to the people of Lahaina and Maui. Shame on you. I hope that you supposed leaders, the governor, the mayor, all the council leaders, that you were kind enough to share with your children and grandchildren over your holiday dinners the exact legacy that you're currently building for them, because it is they that will deal with the consequences of your grossly destructive, fear or greed-based actions of the here and now. And believe me, there will be consequences if you insist on causing continuous destruction to Mother Nature. It's time for the balance between the feminine and the masculine, and for that to happen, there's no other option but for you to lose some of your power. It's the law of nature, my dears, so you have no choice but to stop. This would be the perfect time to do so with grace and to hold some of the honour for your future selves. It's time for you finally to learn that no means no, yes means yes. I and millions of voices across the world are telling you that there are better options that cause less harm for everyone to allow you to clean up your mess. Work harder to find these solutions. You'll probably find those with the people of Hawaii. Listen to them. They are the caretakers of that land for now and in all ways. Mahalo.
Hey Eric, thank you so much for working so hard for Maui and the people. And we have supported the GoFundMe, and we just appreciate everything that you're doing. And we live in the States, and we just want to say thank you. And
thank you for all your hard work, Eric. My name is Claude, and I had worked on nuclear issues in the past. I know it's a very frustrating thing to fight these evil beings. We know they burnt the island on purpose, and now they're making a wreck of everything. And we want to know who's controlling them. That's what you'd want to know. Who are these evil beings controlling them?
yeah.
We wish you all the best and send in love.
And we appreciate you helping the indigenous people and the ceremonial holy grounds that need to stay that way. And my name is Dorothy, and it's Kolakia in Hawaii. My parents used to live there. Mm-hmm. So thank you for everything you're doing, and we'll continue to support you. Thank you. Peace and love.
And love.
My Hawaiian brothers, the Olowalu plan is no good. It's crazy. Uamau ka'ea'o, ka'aina I kapono, right? The life of the land is perpetuated in righteousness. That means we make right decisions based upon the people and the land. We don't let expediency or money guide our decisions. I've been going to Hawaii my whole life. It's like my second home, from Kapalua, Napilikai, Lahaina, all the way down to McKenna. And people like me care, and we want to keep the trash away from the ocean. Thank you.
Maui Council, this is
Mary Beth Carlton from Washington State. For many years, 20 in fact, we have traveled to Maui as a family and have many wonderful memories in your beautiful island. We have been deeply hurt by the tragedy of Lahaina. This tragedy would be continued if the ash was moved to the landfill that is above the reef.
From the mainland, just want to express my absolute horror at what's going on with this Maui dump site. The offense and damage to the people and the land is inexcusable, and you need to stop this right now.
We just ask you to really reconsider. The EPA, if they would get engaged and get their brain in gear, would absolutely put a stop to this. There's too much risk. I've been working in wildfire recovery for a long time, and there's too much risk. Please don't do this. Don't try to push everything that close to the ocean. There's got to be a better way. Don't railroad this program and make it such an environmental disaster going forward.
Hi, my name is Lynn Georgians. I live in Ashland, Oregon. We've all been following worldwide what's been happening with the Lahaina people since the devastating fire. And now I'm having an ask to the Maui County Council to say no to putting the toxic ash from the Lahaina fire in the Olowalu refuge. Even if it is there temporarily, it could be there for a long time and could jeopardize drinking water and the reef below. Being a sacred place, it can be likened to St. Peter's Basilica in the Vatican, Stonehenge, and also Haleakala Crater is considered sacred. It is up to the local council, the local people, to protect these places. And I look forward to hearing that you guys are acting environmentally conscious and with awareness and integrity. Thank you.
Aloha, this is Justin Wallen from Canarsie, Minnesota. I visited the Big Island 3 times. I love it. I love the Hawaiian people, and I love the Hawaiian culture, and I love the islands. I'm here to say to the government officials on Maui, you need to listen to the people. Your job is to represent the voice of the people, not your own voice, not your own opinions. You're supposed to listen to the community. Listen to the smart people of the community. This toxic waste dump should not happen. You're going to poison the ocean. You're going to kill all the manta rays. You're going to kill the coral reef. Listen to the community, not yourself. You're not supposed to listen to yourself. You're supposed to represent the community. You need to quit and let somebody else come into the job that actually listens and represents the people. Aloha to everyone on the islands, and God bless.
So Eric, the dumping of toxic waste in Olowalu dump is disturbing to say the least. The location that's chosen is not the best, at least for at least 2 different reasons, if not more. It's near water sources, and it displaces an existing family cemetery. What is up with that? Who would do something like that? Toxic waste near something as precious as water and a family cemetery as well, just displacing it and removing it from the side of the mountain as you described it in your videos. Yes, it's just disturbing to say the least. Why would anybody make a decision like that, destroying the natural beauty of Maui? It's disturbing.
Aloha, everybody. This is Summer from Switzerland. I want to put my energy in this really beautiful community to help that, well, eventually Lahaina will be rebuilt and that all the ashes and debris will be taken really good care of in a way that the environment is safe, that the water is safe, the drinking water is safe, the ocean is safe. And I'm so grateful for all the people that stand up and that demonstrate and speak up and get together and share online. And thank you so much. And my prayers are with you and Lahaina. Aloha.
Aloha.
My name is Lindsay Jacks, and I'm from Ohio on the mainland. I've been to Maui 3 times in the past 3 years and have been to Lahaina all 3 times. It's one of my favorite places on earth. I was actually walking the streets of Front Street 17 days before the fires. I was devastated to find out about the fires when I returned home. I'm a teacher on the mainland and am imploring you to please not make a dumping ground for the fire remains on Oluwalu. It would put toxic things into the ocean and damage the sea life in the ocean. As a teacher, I know how important the children are in Lahaina and how important the land and the ocean are to the Hawaiian people. So I am asking you to please find another way to get rid of what is left of Lahaina. Mahalo plenty.
So here we are at the dump entrance, and you can see what's going on here. It's ridiculous. You look at the amount of erosion and grading that they're doing. There are no erosion barriers in place. Standard protocol would mean that there would be erosion barriers all over the place to keep this material from soaking into the ocean. Even more so, they have their trucks parked here and they're actually just leaking water out. Look at this. This is the track record we're actually dealing with, guys. You see the amount of styrofoam in here? This means PCBs and dioxins, and this has had cars burned here before. So they are literally, even right here, they're letting their material soak out into the ground right now as we speak. And yet they're telling us it's not going to be conducted this way. Shabby at best, illegal at worst. You make your mind up from this. So Oluwalu, being known as one of the most important mother reefs around here, and perhaps having spawned many of the other reefs that we surf on and whatnot, and we dive on and we eat off of, and that sequester carbon, our reef system is really important to us. We can show you footage all day long of stuff running out of the dump straight into the ocean. There is no mitigation there. If you look at how it's set up, all the drainage comes off of that hill right into the ocean right there. So I think one of the reasons why people aren't looking at these toxins, if you touch them, you're not going to die instantly. And so people think, oh, no big deal. But what's happening is as this stuff makes its way into our environment, and even every time we touch it, or every time we breathe it in, it's going to bioaccumulate in our system. What does that mean? So let's look at it in nature. These toxins are going to run off the hill. The algae is going to grab it. It's going to bioaccumulate in plant material, and then it's going to work its way up the food chain. Fish that eat plants, fish that eat fish, humans that eat fish. So it winds up all the way in us. And the more fish we eat with it, the more it accumulates in our system. So there are several ways for this to bioaccumulate, and it's one of those things that you don't see it right in front of you like a deadly poison because it doesn't kill you instantly. Some of this, we won't see the repercussions from this until 40 years. But we already know because we see the repercussion in other places. So I think that people should start to look at that, do your homework on what it is and what it means, demand that the county, the state, the powers that be, test for it, and release that data to the community so that we can make decisions based on facts.
King of sand, Prince of dust, if you might die in bust, up on top, but only just.
We're gonna make room for Auntie to get close. It's like 90. We'll make room
Let's
for
get Auntie in.
Listen to your heart, they say. I just heard mine yesterday. A finger in the rim on a glass of Chardonnay. I guess it don't have much more to say. It's come through.
It's what happens. It's breaking from the sound waves. That should talk about unstable and what's happening here. Look at it. You can see just the sound waves themselves make it drop. It's crazy. So just take a look where people have been walking on it. Look at this. Under no stress conditions, you can already see. That's like 40 mil through an 80 mil liner. It's right on top of felt, on top of sharp cinder. So those guys telling us that it's on all these like clay and these layers of less permeable soil, not true. There's air pockets on it everywhere. You can feel the sharp rocks under it. Look at this. It's wrong and it's not done right. And this will not protect this. If you look at it, everything about it is a bad idea. Demand the geological survey, the archaeological survey. This is not acceptable. And if we don't stand up, we're just going to let this happen. And it will happen. And this is the future. And I don't understand how it can't be seen. So I want to share this with everyone because people are trying to tell me that this and that. But if you look carefully, the top image is what's been shared with the public and the only thing that's been shared with the public. The county council doesn't have a different diagram than that. No one that we've seen can produce one. What is happening on the ground right now that we can prove beyond the shadow of a doubt is the diagram that we made that you see below it. It's pretty obvious. There is acidic cinder under a somewhat permeable felt liner with acidic cinder, and then an 80 mil HDPE liner. And that's what we are seeing on the ground for the temporary site, which is totally inadequate. If you look at it, there's no way that they can drive machines on that and then put all the other processes they have in this top site, which takes the subsoil below it. That's not there. People need to really look close. We need to demand from the powers that be that they really make this public and the truth. Our community is against this. I think if you see this, let us know how you feel about it.